Good morning. This is your favorite music professor, Mr. White, and today we're going to introduce one of the more exciting chapters in the Music 101 book that you're using, the Renaissance, which of course refers to rebirth. Renaissance refers not only to a period of time in music, but also the time of Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Galileo and the telescope, a lot of philosophers, um, and it was a rebirth of the arts and kind of a step back, if you were, into the music of the ancient Greeks, and it kind of rediscovered what was going on. The Renaissance, uh, we think of as going from 1600 to 1750, covers 150 years. It uh, follows the Middle Ages, which we have talked about. Uh, and so this is the assignment that will be due, I believe, on February the 15th. I'll have to check that. But anyway, this is chapter 3 of the Renaissance. So the first thing you do is watch the video in the module of Dr. Scher. And that's 8 minutes of just really good stuff about what you're going to be talking about. What I'm going to be doing the next couple of minutes is just doing highlights of chapter 3, humanism. Very, very important at the beginning of the Renaissance. More attention was made to secular music, which would be instrumental music. So it's getting away a little bit from the church. Something that's not in the book that's very important is there was a guy named Ottavio Petrucci, and he began printing music. Just like Gutenberg came out with the Gutenberg Bible. Why is that important? Up until this time, no one could buy music. No one could play music. It was just passed down by the monks from the Gregorian chant. So he came up, Petrucci, with a printing press idea. You see my little chihuahua here. If you hear a little snoring going on in the background, she's falling asleep. I hope you don't fall asleep. But at any rate, Petrucci invented the printing press for music, and now people like you and I can actually have music passed down from generation to generation in written form, which is very, very important. The Renaissance, as with a lot of stuff in music, began in the country of Italy. Uh, the citizenry no longer are feudal bound to lords. Okay, the rise of the middle class. Okay, people are starting to give priority to prosperity, property, personal objects, education for their children. So they're a little bit getting away from the Catholic Church. First major composer was Dufay. He was a bridge composer from the Middle Ages to the Renaissance. Other composers that Dr. Scher talks about in that short video, and you'll be reading about, is Ockeghem from the Flemish school, which is basically from Holland. Josquin des Prez wrote a whole bunch of music that we have saved now because it was printed. One of the most important composers of the Renaissance was Palestrina. And Palestrina was really the first arranger of music. In other words, he would take music of himself and other composers and rewrite it or arrange it for different instruments or voices. And this is really the first time that's happened. So arranger is not a composer. Arranger changes music that's already been composed. William Byrd is our first English person that we're going to talk about. He kind of lived a double life. He was a Catholic living in an Anglican world. In other words, he practiced Catholicism, but he worked for the Church of England, which was heresy back then. You could be killed to do that. You can say hello to my little dog here. So William Byrd also wrote a lot of keyboard music. Gabrieli, one of my favorite composers, wrote in the city of Venice in Italy. And I have been to St. Mark's Cathedral in Venice, and I've heard the wonderful surround sound that came out of that cathedral. Gabrieli wrote a lot of things for brass and in choir, and he would put different choirs in the balconies of St. Mark's Cathedral and created really what we kind of talk as the first stereo effect. It is phenomenal. And I'm going to play a video for you at the end of this of Gabrieli, and you can kind of hear what it sounds like. But I've been to this cathedral in Venice, and it's absolute, not only reverence religiously, but the acoustics in this cathedral are so wonderful. Council of Trent, you can read about in the book. This was a reaction against Protestants that condemned Martin Luther. Did not like the fact that secular music was now creeping its way into the Catholic Church. This was a big change. Martin Luther was really a bridge to the Baroque era. He was way ahead of his time. He was excommunicated from the Roman Catholic Church because of his Protestant Reformation. He thought that the music should be more simple and we should sing it in its native tongue. So we started having church services in German, not just Latin. And Martin Luther was really responsible for the Protestant Reformation. It's amazing he wasn't killed, actually, because that's what they did back then if they didn't agree with the church. Secular music was growing. We have the advent of something called the madrigal. The madrigal is really a vocal work, and madrigal singers today are in many high schools, and it's kind of the cream of the crop. Very, very difficult to sing. Gesualdo, the bad boy of the late Renaissance. He had a great passion for music. There's a clip that you have to watch of both Palestrina, we mentioned before, which is kind of a takeoff on Star Wars. It's kind of dumb, actually, but it tells you a lot about Palestrina. There's another video you have to watch on Gesualdo, and you can hear the dissonances in his music, okay? Gesualdo was known as a bad boy. He caught his wife in bed with another man and killed them both. Boom. So that's what he's really best known for. We're going to end our discussion of the Renaissance. And again, what I'm telling you in about 7 minutes and what Dr. Scher tells you in about 8 minutes on his video is what I used to talk 3 class periods on. So we're really condensing this, and the responsibility is on you to do the homework assignments and the active listening. The 3 Toms, Thomas Morley, Thomas Welks, Thomas Tomkins, 3 English composers that wrote specifically madrigals, which were choir works, secular, vocal, polyphonic compositions. Secular, vocal, polyphonic compositions. Not monophony, but polyphony. Not sacred music for the church, but happy music. So you might want to listen to some of that. I am now going to play a canzona by Giovanni Gabrieli, and this was recorded in the church in Venice. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure that you get all your information in on time when it's due. Again, it's a Wednesday to Wednesday type of deal. So good luck. And if you have any questions, email me. And I will let you know later in the week if we're going to have another Zoom meeting on Monday. Okay? Good luck. This is let's see if I get this to work here. Wow. Okay, you could hear the surround sound in that, and all those pictures of Venice brought back a lot of memories when I lived over there. All the gold stuff you saw was just that solid gold. So, whoops. Let me turn the TV off. So, good luck with the Renaissance. This is due Wednesday, February the 17th at midnight. So, get a head start on it. You're going to start really loving classical music now, I promise you, with the Renaissance and then Baroque coming up with Bach and Handel and then Mozart and Beethoven. We got a lot of neat stuff to cover. So do your assignments, do your active listening, and get it in by Wednesday the 17th. Good luck. Let me hear from you. Have any questions? Thank you very much.